The older I get, the more this certain pet peeve starts to bother me. And that pet peeve that I have is when people act like the entertainment industry is the only place where people are fake. Like that's just straight up ridiculous. Like I think I think the entertainment industry is a microcosm for the real world, just the world at large. And in many cases it just shows the worst part of people. So I Love Makonnen is an artist who blew up in 2014 out of Atlanta with the song Tuesday. I know many of you might have remembered. For some of you that were too young, it was a massive wave that is really hard to describe. I was like just out of high school, I think, when that song came out, and I didn't even get it, man. I didn't like it. Like it was so weird. It was one of the few times where a song blew up where not only I didn't like it, but I couldn't wrap my head around like what people found so appealing about it. It was a weird time for me as a music fan because that was the first time I really experienced that. The older I get, the more I'm kind of like, yeah, the song, it's okay. It's kind of grown on me a bit, but not really. Yeah, but either way, that still was a good lesson that different strokes for different folks. But still, the song itself was massive, and he signed to Drake's OVO label. He had some other songs that were kind of blowing up around that time too. I think one of them was called like I don't I don't take Molly anymore or something like that. Like he had a wave and like a fan base going, but none of the songs were really bigger than Tuesday. Not too long after you started you started seeing less of him because coincidentally old tweets started resurfacing of him clowning Drake, the guy he's now signed, well, the guy he was at the time signed to, and shortly after Drake dropped him from the label. Now, did Drake drop him from the label because of those tweets or just because he wasn't hot anymore? I don't know. I'm more inclined to believe he dropped them because of the tweets, but I guess we'll never know because I don't think Drake's ever really acknowledged him. Like even Makonnen said that he only met Drake maybe like one time, but from there his career went downhill and he fell off the radar of not only the mainstream audience but his peers because they started to ignore him. Recently, he received a boost in attention because of his friendship and a song collaboration with NBA YoungBoy. And because people are fake, after years of ignoring him, now they are popping back up out of the blue, seemingly out of the blue, right? They pop back up to finally respond to his messages and say anything to him, acknowledge him, right? People like Sway Lee in it, Sway Lee, Post Malone, and Metro Boomin. And it hurt my heart to see Sway Lee in this because I'm a Ray Shremmerd fan, but still, nonetheless, it is what it is. So with this new attention that's coming in, McConan was clearly blinded by emotion and made a bad business decision. He posted screenshots of the people ignoring him, like the people I just said, right? He posted an Instagram post, really just responding back, calling them out, saying, that's messed up. I never did anything to you. I'm paraphrasing now. He's saying like, that's messed up. I never did anything to you. We all came up together in Atlanta, and y'all just like left me for dead, basically. Now, do I think it was a smart move to do this? No. But I will say, a lot of times in life, whether it's through perceived friendships or whether it's through business in general, you do have to take screenshots. You do have to have some type of evidence. Now, I'm not saying to post at evidence, but you do have to legitimately just keep those screenshots like in your back pocket just in case somebody tries to unsend a message or just in case somebody just tries to just flat out lie about something, and you need that insurance, especially in a situation like this, right? Because if he didn't post the screenshots or if he didn't have the screenshots, who knows? One of these guys that he exposed could have just put up a response. If he had just called them out without the screenshots, one of these guys, you never know. They could have just unsent the message on Instagram and been like, "What are you talking about, man? I didn't hit you up. I haven't seen your message. I was so busy." So you never know, right? But still, I don't think it's the best move. But I could understand the logic in doing it, right? And I also understand how frustrated he might have been, and how frustrated he might have been with these people ignoring him, right? Because obviously in his head at least he thought they were his friends and his peers, and he's thinking about, hey, we came up together, and he thought there was a bond there that there clearly wasn't. But this is no different than real life. Most of the people you consider your friends and your coworkers and family and all this stuff, most of these people are just as fake as the entertainers you see in the music industry. It's no different. If they feel like they don't need you and they can't get anything valuable out of you, they don't and they won't want anything to do with you. They will not contact you. They will not hit you up. You will not hear from these people. If you were feeling somebody and you were trying to like talk to them and they just straight up ignored you, but then magically, even you don't even got to go there. Just whether it's friendships, whether regardless of the relationship, people, this is how people are. Unfortunately, they will just flat out just ignore you. But again, let you hit the lottery or let you blow up as an influencer or something to that effect, or let you be seen with somebody who they value, like NBA YoungBoy, right? Because in this context, Post Malone, Metro Boomin, and Sway Lee, see, they value NBA YoungBoy because NBA YoungBoy is still at the peak of his popularity. He's still very relevant. So now, because of that, they're trying to turn around and they're trying to turn around and really just reestablish some sort of relationship with Makonen. But again, like I said, and I can understand how that could be frustrated and make you feel slighted. Because again, this will happen whether y'all realize it or not. I'm seeing a lot of people clown Makonnen, but whether y'all realize it or not, most of your friends or family, they're not your friends and family. These same people ignore you the way Sway Lee, Post, and Metro ignored Makonnen. But if somehow you blow up or just get rich or whatever, one way or another, miraculously, these people will come back out the blue wanting to reestablish some sort of relationship with you. The audacity of people. It's crazy. But that's just how it goes. All you could do is just really just have an indifferent view of them and just stay away from them. That's why really it's really best to be an introvert. Now, some people may defend Sway Lee and Metro Boomin and Post Malone by saying they were just busy. And that's a fair argument to make. They could have been legitimately busy. Like when you got so much stuff going on, it can be easy to overlook some messages here and there. However, I think it's a flawed argument because are you really that busy? Like are you like I get it, they're busy, but people see these messages, man. At the end of the day, if Drake hits them up, do you think they're ignoring that message? It doesn't matter if they have a million DMs. If Drake hits them up, do you think they are ignoring that message? No. And they might not even know Drake or and it doesn't have to be Drake specifically, but I just mean if somebody at that level of popularity who's that big of a star who can help their career, if he or she reaches out to them, they're not going to ignore that. You know, it is what it is, but again, all in all, I feel bad for Makonnen, honestly. Even though I was not really a big fan of his music, he definitely had a unique vibe, a unique wave. He was doing his own thing. He's still doing his own thing. And he had a bad moment in judgment with this where he clearly was just hurt. He was hurt. Flat out. And a lot of people that are clowning him, they're not being honest about how they would react if they were in his shoes. Because I, I'll say this instead. Actually, a lot of people are saying what he should have done, as far as he's not playing this smart. He should have just not exposed this and then did some interviews and said and kind of just without naming names, talk about how people left him for dead and blah blah blah. And Young Boy was the only real one who stayed friends with him and still worked with him. And I'm like, yeah, he could have done that, and I definitely think that would have been the smarter business move. But even then, there's still no guarantee he would have like blew up in the mainstream again. So in his mind, he might just be like, hey, you know what? I got nothing to lose. So oh well. He might really just be at the point where he's cool with those bridges burning. And if he still has a fan base, which I'm assuming he does, he might just be like, cool, let those bridges burn. It is what it is. I don't want any ties to them or people that are cool with them. And we just gonna let the chips fall where they may. So, but again, I don't think it was the best move business wise, but I guess I understand it. I kind of feel bad for him because so often everybody laughs at artists who fall off, and just but you're not understanding that sort of that feeling, that painful feeling when you're just being completely ignored by a large group of people simply because they don't see you as somebody that has something superficial that they want. But I don't know. I think I'm kind of rambling at this point. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Then make sure you guys like and subscribe. My name is Mfasis, and this was another episode, an inspired episode of a podcast I was trying to do called the Talking to Myself podcast.